Yo.
That was the intro? Oh, I'm Keith.
I'm Curtis.
Oh my God, we got 10 to do reactions.
With Phantom. No long time. Let's get into it. Oh, hi, I'm here too. I'm low.
Don't be a ghost and hit that subscribe button. So don't look at me like that shit. Win-win. It's the crop top.
People are wearing headphones, right?
Back and forth with Yang Yang and Henry.
Guess what that equals?
Oh, shit!
Told y'all he's a slept-on vocalist. He's a slept-on NCT vocalist. Again. It's a masquerade from the looks of things.
10 lead.
Like I said, Charles he's a slept-on vocalist in NCT and just WAYV in general. This was dope. I'm not gonna lie, I do like the production better than the song.
Yes.
The production is God's tier.
Exact words I was gonna say too.
My fault, y'all. The production is God's here, especially when it got into like the crescendo and the tail end. He just started drawing. He might have been the Phantom of the fucking Opera in the fucking booth, just in there, just doing what he did. Insert the Kermit on the typewriter. Nah, I think anybody that's been on this channel a long time, y'all already know how we feel about WayV, NCT, SM in general. Super talented. You can put this group up against any other K-pop group if you want to, and good luck. But with that being said, like I said, I do kind of just like the production a little bit more than like the song. The song is cool. I feel like you can, from a talent standpoint, like hear how good everyone is, like especially like vocal line, rap line on here was pretty decent. I'm pretty sure Kurt and y'all might get more into like the themes and what like they was talking about and stuff. But music just needs to be a vibe. It needs to hit you first in general, at least in my opinion. It did that in a sense, like I said, of the production was just not in the song. Maybe I need to listen to it a few more times or something like that. The video was beautiful as well. We already know what's up with SM. We know we getting with the budget and then kind of like the theatricals and stuff like that. SM in general can take like kind of stage productions that might feel regular and some regular, like, you know, feel regular but still kind of make that like grand. I also like the set design as far as like the wardrobe and everything they had going on. All that stuff was really, really dope. It's just for like a song, maybe a download for me just to kind of hear the beat in the car. I know that bass and shit and everything is going to hit like crazy and stuff, but I'm not in love with the song as much as I wanted to be in love with the song. I wanted this shit to smack me so hard that I'll be like that. I almost would be like, yo, this is the comeback that we need. Why do we listen to this after we did the list? Like, and you know, I didn't get that, but that's cool too. Every song doesn't need to be like that.
But it helps.
Yeah, it helps, but it's just, you know, my expectations aren't every single song kind of needs to be like that. But this was a cool joint, especially for a comeback from them. Anytime we get more wavy, I'm here for it. So yeah, that was my spill.
Yeah, anytime we get more Mr. 4321, just that equals 10 if you did. Anytime we get more 10, I'm happy. Yeah, man. I feel the same way as Nicholas. The production hits a lot more for me than the song does as a whole. It's two great parts, but as a sum, it doesn't do it for me. As far as like downloading and listening, as a performance, I would definitely love to see this live and everything. Like, this is definitely something great to watch. As far as, like I said, just on a sonic level and everything like that, it's just not there for me. Like I said, 10, man, he's just fucking amazing, bro. And just, he's one of the most charismatic dudes in K-pop. He has the visuals. He's a top 2, top 3 dancer in all of K-pop, in my opinion. Just he talk about someone who does everything at an elite level. I've never seen 10 do some shit, and I'm just like, you know, whatever, like that. It's just always some A1 type of
singing, dancing, rapping, visual,
just everything, stage presence, all of that.
Sexy eyes.
All right, calm down.
Just saying. I brought my girl here at 10. She left to go to SM Studio.
Definitely, and then shout out to Zhao Jun as well. That last note, goddamn, my boy Yang Yang and Win Win, love both of them as well. You already know how I get down. It's fucking amazing, like the rapping and everything, kind of like the back and forths and all of that stuff like that was super dope.
Yeah, with Hendry and them.
Win Win has always been a stud too, like a sleeper one in my opinion. Like, cause he was like killing shit even with when he was with 127. Every time you get a shot of like Win Win, it's just kind of like shit. You know,
he do a lot of shit at an elite level, but it's the sample size is so small. It's just you'll get 2 or 3 bars and he'll carry, but it'll just be like NCT, you want more.
It's a lot. It's a lot to kind of compete. It's so many people doing it.
Damn, the 30 people. It's hard to get line distribution at every view.
And minimum, they have 6 to 7 superstars in NCT. Just off the rip, like, one performance, you go, oh, that guy's somebody in this group.
Most of the times, 2 or 3 people in one subunit where it's just like, all right, we know 1, 2, 3 is going to get.
Exactly. And that's really the gist of all of it with everything with NCT. But, this is pretty dope. I love the whole Barack, however you pronounce it.
I think it is Baroque.
Dress and everything like that. I thought that was though. Obviously, with Phantom, you're going to get that kind of.
If it's not Baroque, don't fix
18th century, I guess it would be 18th century type of dressing and everything like that. or 18th or 19th century, like France,
like a Frenchman going to the opera house.
Yeah, it's all very, very much so dressing.
Shirts versus blouses.
Showy for that time period. I love
Shirts
that.
versus blouses.
Some of the lyrics.
Is it a stretch to say Renaissance?
No,
no.
It is a stretch to say Renaissance. That's not Renaissance era.
No, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, Renaissance era. They did. That's like 400 years before this, if I'm not mistaken. But 1300s. What the fuck was the Renaissance? 12. It's between 12 and 1400.
I think 12. I think in Renaissance.
12.
I was about to say Renaissance, and it might be a little bit more dirty.
I don't think you'd be wrong.
I think Renaissance.
That's why it was.
Renaissance. I think they'd have been a little bit more not as pampered up. I don't think, but I feel you though.
I'm not looking for no damn place.
You said the Renaissance era is between the 1200 and 1400 era.
It's from the 15th and 16th centuries.
Oh, okay.
So it's like I said, 200 years before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was right. 200 years prior to the time period that I'm talking about and everything. But yes, I thought it was really dope with like the jewels and everything. A little interesting. Sometimes the lyrics felt like non sequiturs. That just could be how the translation is working. Like they feel related, but they don't feel like they directly flow with each other too. Just reading them. And like I said, this is first listen, so I'm not like reading them straight up and everything. Just kind of like looking at what the translations are saying. But
which WAYV and NCT do sometimes where, you know, sometimes something may not translate, and I feel like somebody might have told them it doesn't, and they be like, fuck it.
It sounds good.
Yeah, no, because SM in general, like, remember before they weren't giving Americans like kind of subtitles. It might vary. I always take that as like, yo, it's for us to know and for y'all to find out, kind of.
Maybe it's not clean.
Yeah. Because, you know, somebody else might just be like, well, you know, in Hangul, it's because da-da-da-da-da versus the translation. I know, Kurt, you say it a lot. Versus the translation is trying to say this. Or pig here might mean this to y'all, but over here we symbolize it as already knowing this.
No, but I did like how it felt like they were putting on a show, like a theater show or something like that, like I said, like an 18th century play or something. It just felt very theatrical and over the top, and I love the jewels, the minks, everything like that. You see like the swords landing around them, kind of hitting at, or the sword throne hitting at Game of Thrones, of course. Like I think that was one of the more obvious homages. But I just also love how you get like themes of paranoia and eeriness and everything like that going on in here, and then you just see each member kind of like playing a part. Some of the match cuts and everything, or just like the transitions in general.
This is a Phantom of the Opera vibe.
Yeah, it just feels like you're watching a stage. You're watching a
you didn't read
stage
that and
play.
felt like an ominous.
I feel like you're watching a
someone's always
theatrical
watching type
play.
feeling.
And I think that was
This shit was weird to me as a kid reading that.
It did, but I think the visual wouldn't match the Phantom of the Opera.
Nah, not visuals. Just more so the vibe. This gives more masquerade at times.
This
than
gives me Man in the Iron Mask, Brotherhood of the Wolf type.
Eyes wide shut.
Because of the mask, shit like that.
I would get more
Obviously,
Eyes Wide
we
Shut
need
from
women
like
for that,
Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
It's funny though. Everything y'all naming those all kind of like French during those times. You said Brotherhood of the Wolf and what else? You said Man in the Iron Mask with with Louis in them.
Louis,
Yeah, so
Three Musketeers, thing like that, with the fringes and
with the fringes, the blouses versus the shirts. You said.
No, yeah, but like I said, I thought, and then with the cuts to like bro holding the moon and everything like that, I thought that was dope too. Just kind of taking it out of the theater aspect. So overall, clean video, cool production. We already know it's SM. You're never going to get bullshit from SM. Everyone's elite, talented, and everything like that. So
I was going to say that it got killed to him.
it just didn't work for me overall. But yeah, that's my spiel. We call him 10 because he's perfect.
they call him Win-Win because he wins. Yeah, he does.
You want to be on something now.
Exactly. I'm always on something. But no, I thought the song was cool. I thought the production was the best part of the song. I did have an issue with the structure of the verses. The talking as part of it, like the first half of the verses where they were just kind of talking through the lines, didn't like that arrangement at all. I did like the second half of the verses before they got to the pre-chorus when they started singing, or at least being a little bit more melodic. I did like that aspect of it. The strings and the orchestration of the chorus was top tier, phenomenal. They didn't carry through to the verses, which I get, kind of drop it down to make the chorus sound more dramatic. But a little underlying string, once it was introduced, would have been cool. Maybe not the same chords as in the chorus, but something like that would have been nice. They just to kind of jazz up the beat, especially toward the back end. But in the back end, their vocals definitely went off. As far as the visuals of it, it definitely gives like, Bram Stoker's Dracula, Interview with a Vampire, S-type vibes, those sort of outfits and feelings. Especially when they introduce a blood moon, it could kind of be leaned toward that way as well. But I don't know, for Phantom of the Opera, like I don't think they were definitely going for. They definitely were not going for like a Phantom of the Opera vibe. There's like no organs, no church feels, no damsel to save or protect, no long black cloaks with white masks. They it seems like they almost stayed away from that specifically to not kind of be regulated to that. In fact, that set
probably have been too on the nose.
Yeah, a little way too on the nose. It feels like the set almost, especially the desolate set of the theater, almost reminds me of Ghost.
I literally was gonna say like
the Michael Jackson.
Even the color palette is kind of like when you get into those like blues.
Well,
and
Phantom also
Ghost.
means ghost. Subtext definitely correlates.
I thought it was definitely a good job. The throne from Game of Thrones was a little weird to me. It just seemed like kind of out of place, but I guess it just rule of cool. Fuck it, it's the cool thing, so throw it in there. But all in all, I thought this was good. I thought all the looks was clean, the modernized looks as well as the throwback looks, and then the blend of both. Even that ballroom is very modernized as far as the materials and the layout. But still has kind of like a historic vibe to it.
Even that sweater looks updated.
Yeah.
So it's probably is more so rule of cool with certain shit versus it just kind of being like very
a period
piece.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it was LED lighting in like a ball throne room, but it's cool though.
It looks like it's great.
Yeah, you see the LED lights, shit, like it's cool though and shit. More LED lighting and shit, but it's cool.
Yeah, like they could have went all ambiance and used like candles and things like that, which would have also looked dope as well. But rule of cool, and I mean if it's cool, fuck it. And this is definitely a good looking video. But again, as far as the song goes, I kind of wish there was more layering or more textures in the first part of the verses as opposed to the just on the back end and in the chorus. Good job though. I would download it just because that beat was fucking ridiculous.
Yo, Kurt, before you jump in here, songs are funny, yo, especially with us on the channel, because if the song does not like knock it out the park, you tend to like almost like not nitpick. You be like, this shit fire, fucking do what y'all want. Mm-hmm. If the song like don't kind of translate how you want, that shit does turn into like, yo, they got a Doberman in here. Man, Dobermans weren't around until 1807, and the video is in 1605. What happened? It's LED light.
I mean, well, you got to find talking points.
Yeah, versus
you
when
can't talk about anything good because personally, you don't feel like there's that much that you like.
Yeah.
So you got to talk about something.
Nah, but that shit funny because like when it's fire, it could be aliens like fighting farmers and niggas
aliens
is like
versus
this
cowboys
shit.
Or some
This
shit.
shit is a masterpiece. I'm sorry.
You caught a flashback, didn't you?
So I said I felt like it was from somewhere.
You were pulling from something.
It was like, that very specific time when this non-specific thing happened?
If this happened, with non-related.
Not related.
Objectively.
Respectfully.
I honestly enjoyed this. It's definitely something that I think needs a few more listens to like fully appreciate for me, and I do think there's a much larger story at hand that's kind of playing into this. And I'm curious as far as how it relates to any sort of, if there's like previous albums or singles that are kind of connecting any sort of theme to kind of give more clarity to this. I'd be curious to hear as well. But I
think it's a new EP, Kurt. I think
okay.
you might get a. It
definitely feels like there's a lot going on here, and personally, at least to me, I would say elements of it definitely stood out to me. First and foremost, that high note at the end by who had hit that note? Xiaozu. Yeah, that high note was really incredible, and it definitely took the song to a much bigger place for me. I would say I liked elements of what the rap line was doing when they got in, but it felt like after 3 or 4 lines they were just kind of out, so it didn't really give you enough time to fully kind of appreciate the direction of it. But nonetheless, I did really appreciate the song as a whole. It just kind of took a moment to resonate for me, and I would say by the end, especially when we start getting those particular runs, I would say that's kind of where it really started to grab me mostly. I do like what you had pointed out, Lo, as far as the 4-3-2-1. I didn't catch that at all as far as the 10 thing. So if that's a shout out or any kind of unique way to introduce yourself on a track or anything, I just thought that was really cool. And also plays into a little bit of the crowd chant hook kind of like repeatability, like something that's catchy and easily digestible. So I appreciated those things as well. As far as the story that seems to be being told, and the lyrics, I think it's kind of more so seems like it's about more so about like less about love or anything like that, and more about like self-discovery and like your own internal journey. Like I know there were lyrics in there that kind of alluded to that, but also what it seems like to me at least is kind of when you see the lavish set where they're like the rulers seemingly, where they're like the kings and on the thrones, and they got like the almost like primal like bear claw kind of metallic nails and things of that nature. You see imagery of like the howling at the moon kind of wolf style coming out, the grave. So like there's definitely like a primal sort of aspect to it. I don't want to say like wolf kind of concept or anything like that, but it certainly kind of echoes a little bit of those themes as well.
You might not be too far off. I'm sorry to cut you
off.
No, you're cool. I forgot who it was, but he also had like a highlight of like a jaguar behind him.
Yeah, and even the glowing
the green eye. He had the one glowing green eye. Yeah.
But I would say like there's something kind of to that's like echoing at least similar themes for me. But it's a lot in the production value that I'm liking that's kind of allowing me to appreciate this is the fact that they're talking about the Phantom and the mask and kind of there being the blinding aspect to it, but there's like that hint of truth and you kind of got to follow that along the dark tunnel to seemingly kind of get through to the other side, so to speak. But they have the lavish opulence of some of the sets, but then you see the desolate kind of sets. And I don't know if that's to say you're blinded by things that are making you feel like there's a lavishness and like that you're in control as opposed to being controlled. Kind of keeping with some of the puppeteer aspects of it, and then kind of when those things seem like they're stripped away, that's when you get a little bit of the desolate kind of sets. Seemingly like when you're kind of aware of the lie or the dream aspect of it, and when you kind of take the veil off or take the mask off. And honestly, because the way they go from the pure white outfits in some of them to the darker outfits, I would say, and even one of the aspects where they had I forget the editing technique. Nick, you could probably correct me on that. Is when they like stitch the moments together, where it's I don't want to say like a still life almost, but kind of similar, where it's like you're in this frame, you're walking, but then you're in this frame walking, and it's like fragmented. But they did like a fragmented sequence in the beginning of this, and it kind of. Okay, yeah. I wasn't exactly sure of the word of it, but when they kind of use that technique, it kind of felt like the whole puppeteering along, and they're wearing the white there. But then when they're wearing a little bit of the kind of red, it feels like that's more so the true self, so to speak, because they say you need color in this world, like otherwise it's all darkness, and that's kind of when you get some of those set pieces. So I don't know if that's like the self-actualized kind of version or anything, but seeing what you had shown about the album cover or anything, it seemed like there was a lot of reds and whites. So if this is kind of alluding to a little bit of that journey, it would at least make a little bit more sense. But as far as the production, I did like how it seemed like there was instrumentals that were a little bit stringy when they were talking about puppeteering you, like kind of along the strings. But then I feel like there was moments where they did remove it, where you were kind of trying to find yourself. Now, of course, I would need to hear it more times to kind of digest those things. But at least on a first watch, those are kind of things that stand out to me. But nonetheless, it was interesting to me. I'm not sure if it's quite a download, at least at this time, but I do think it's a song that's going to grow on me the more I digest it, and especially the larger EP, outside of that.
Shit, we about to jump into Diamonds Only and shit, so we about to see if it's about to be some type of theme too behind it too.
I got a question, or just not even a question, but yeah, a question. With the possible change in members in the group or whatever, I'm not really going to go into that. But do you think that this might be a reboot of a concept?
I'm not sure. I would need to hear a little bit more, especially
especially before we go into the new
It's a bit weird to see kind of Lolo on here. I don't see it all, and I know it might just be a bonus track. I only glanced at it, so okay. So if that's a bonus, then cool. Even though I don't know why you would have it on the album unless you literally want to push.
I think I'm assuming it's to push the numbers because as we've seen, people count numbers from previous
songs.
Previous years. So if you drop it on a new compilation now,
is it the 10 version or is? Oh, okay.
That's I mean, it's 2 members from this. 10 ain't on there. So I'm assuming it's for that, but I don't know why. I don't know how. I'm not gonna go into specifics of what we think is going on or anything else. But to me, this seems like this is something that was happening regardless of what all members were there or what the situation was and stuff. I'm gonna just kind of leave it at that. I would want to hear a little bit more and see kind of what the album is about.
Because that might not be a theme at all. That might be a one-off.
Because it's Phantom, Diamonds Only, Good Life, Broken Love, Bounce Back, Try My Luck, Back to You. And the last 2 were both bonus tracks. So both those bonus tracks have nothing to do with what's going on with the album. Yeah. But Broken Love and Bounce Back to back sound like that correlates.
They might connect.
Where did Phantom show up on the track list?
It's the first joint, literally, to get into the album. And the album is called, the mini album is called Phantom. So
awesome.
So it might be about Mask.
Yeah, so I'm going to shut the fuck up and wait till Diamonds on to find it to top a little more. You good?
great.
Yeah, y'all jump in the comments. Tell us how y'all felt about this. Y'all already know how we feel about WayV. We're being overcritical just because we love these guys and want the best for them. Jump on the Patreon. We're going to be jumping into Diamonds Only and probably having a deeper discussion there because it probably gives a little bit more layering to at least what the album is, especially off the first 2. And if it doesn't, then this may be a compilation of just bangers or just songs that they fucked with all on here. But the wording sounds like it's not. But that's either here nor there. Love y'all. We're going to holler at y'all.
Love y'all.